I'm with you on the midfielders, though. We're currently picking 3 from 4.
Yeah.
That's a challenge for me, because if one of them's injured, we've got 3, and then we're looking at, backups that aren't deemed by the manager or by anyone else that they're good enough to get in and break into the 4 of them that's getting in. So, it's Liverpool, though, so we're not going to buy anyone. That's not what usually happens, isn't it? We all say we want to buy.
Come on, Leo, play the game.
You know what it's like, but I am really interested, because we've expressed an interest in certain players in certain positions, and I know 1 or 2 are names and stuff, but reports today Tchouaméni is available from Real Madrid. He's been on the list, and if he's on the list, he stays on the list. Zubimendi's on the list. So there is a couple of lads who, it makes loads of sense. They were going to blow a load of money on the kid who went to Chelsea, or then Zubimendi. You've now got 2 of them who look top quality, who would have maybe available at this moment in time. I would love us to go and get one of them, rather than with the defender. It's probably going to be a bit of a filler rather than a starter. It's probably going to be someone who's doing some cover. I would love us to go and get that midfielder who really makes that midfield look unbeatable.
He likes 2 players for each position. Klopp was a little bit more versatile. He liked players who play, a striker who could play anywhere across the 3, a midfielder who could do 2 or 3 midfield jobs, a more versatile defender. But Slot seems a little bit more, I've got 2 players for each position. He likes Salah and Chiesa when he's ready out on the right. He's got his 2 centre forward. He's got Diaz and Gakpo. I think he'd like the same in midfield. I think he's identified that Szoboszlai and Jones are one position. McAllister's got 1 on his own, and Gravenberg's got 1 on his own.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the long-term plan is for Endo or Elliott or any of the other fringe midfielders, but I think personally Slot would like 2 number 6s he can trust every week, and another McAllister type role. And I mean, I know I'm like asking to go and find gold there, because he is world class, but you know what I'm trying to say? Maybe you can give McAllister a break and someone can come in and do that job. I think that's what Slot's gearing towards. Likewise with the defence, he just wants 2 solid players in each position, and that's probably why he didn't go over the top in the transfer market, because he wanted to have a proper look at what he had, and we were all fine with that, and we're still fine with it because of where we're sat. But I think we can see now the way we've been playing over the course of the season, where the accidents are waiting to happen.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and this is sort of it. You don't want to see him spoiled, because like Keo says, we're in a great position, and we're in a better position than someone else. And I'm sure if our Arsenal podcast is doing this now, they're looking at it and think, oh, we need a number 9, we need to be this and that. So no squad out there is perfect, James, and so I want to be sort of clear on that. As football fans, we always want to add 1 more, and as Liverpool fans sort of looking at it now, there's ways you can improve it, but I actually think we've got the best squad in the league, and I think we've got the most balance, and I think we've got the most depth, and probably sort of star quality as well. So I think we're in a great position, and I do think we'll still win the league. But you just love to increase those chances. You just love them to give the manager every chance. And like you say, you don't want to be sat here and go, oh yeah, we were flying, but then we got a few injuries and it hurt, or do you know what, we won the league and that's great, but we could have won that Champions League as well, but we were fucked in that second leg because of this and that and stuff like that. And so for me, it's not about I'm not sat here going, if we don't sign a midfielder, we won midfield now, if we don't sign a midfielder, we won't win the league, because I think we probably will anyway. But I'd love to sit here and go, fucking hell, that's really helped us. That's really given us a chance of not just winning this title, but maybe winning 2 or even 3 things this year.
And it'll give everyone else a lift as well. That's the other thing, is that, as the season goes on and the games, especially, when we get back into the Champions League as well, and those fixtures start coming around, so we're playing twice a week, that's when people start getting exhausted, and that's when injuries start happening. And just 1 or 2 bodies, a defender in a midfield would just give everyone such a lift. But I guess it depends on what the parameters are, what we're looking for, what age we're looking for. What level of experience? Are we looking to sign players that slot straight in, pardon the pun again, or are we looking for, developmental talent, people that, in 12, 18 months time, that's when they're going to be, knocking at the door. We don't really know, apart from Chiesa, what this manager's into, what he's looking for. He's had time now to look at the squad as a whole and to see, where there are potential frailties. But again, it's what he's looking for.
I think there's an argument for the players want players as well. I mean, go back years ago, like players came in, they'd see it as a threat to the position, or they'd see it as they're out the door soon. But right now, I think if you asked all the defenders, do you want another defender? They'd say, yeah, not all. They help us out here. Likewise with the midfielders. So as you say, it'll help the players and the squad overall to know that they're not going to be stretched at any point, and if anything does happen, it's going to be all right. It's just who, as you say. I mean, I don't know the profile. I don't know what we've got to spend. I mean, I'm sure the people on the internet have got an idea of what we've got to spend, but I haven't, and I don't know what they're going to spend, whether it's going to be a £7 million centre-half or whether it's going to be a £70 million centre-half.
Yeah, there's not many of them about. I don't think, unfortunately. On James's point, though, Leon, I think if you are going to sign in January, it's sort of got to be someone who can hit the ground running relatively quickly, isn't it? Because, you know, we're talking about signing for impact. Now, listen, they might see someone who's available now, a club's in a bit of financial trouble or whatever, and then they go, do you know what, we're buying him because there's an opportunity, and opportunistic was the phrase of the summer, wasn't it? And apparently no opportunities opportune themselves, which was a little bit of a shame, apart from the Chiesa one. But, you know, like I say, there might be one where they go, you know what, we really like this young player, and the club are willing to sell us for whatever reason at the moment, probably financial, and so we'll make a move. But for the kind of thing we're talking about now, which is, you know, who's going to help us get over the line this season, not just in the league, but maybe, you know, in the Champions League or another cup as well this season, you sort of after someone with a bit of a profile and a bit of experience, and that might be a 21-year-old, but, you know, with decent games under the belt.
I think you're looking for someone who can go and play that first day that they've signed, who gets in the team and they're ready to go with stuff like that. Because I don't know if you remember when we signed Diaz it was in the January, wasn't it? And everyone was flapping about the squad. And then he signed, everyone was like, this squad is sound. Because like that little one thing makes a difference. Like it can change like that. So that's why, you know, if we did get that defender in midfield, I would want someone who was more likely to be able to get in the games. And you're going to then have to look at the systems that they've been playing and that kind of stuff, because you don't want someone who's going to take, like Chiesa, take 6 years to actually work out what's going on and stuff like that. You want someone who's going to be able to slip in straight away, and that's why I think possibly it's maybe a Premiership-based player, someone who's used to the pace of the game. You look at Chiesa, he's coming from the Italian league, and everyone's like, it's the Italian league, it's brilliant, but it's obviously very different because he just can't seem to get him ready to go because his fitness levels weren't there. So I think maybe someone who's in the Premier League right now, maybe someone who's been playing, not someone who's been on the bench somewhere who's had any injury stuff, someone who's, you know, what are we on, 25 games, someone who's played 20 or 25 games this season, who can then come in and not maybe be the starter all the time, but come in and, you know, maybe give a few lads a rest for a couple of games in a busy January, February period.